This is how I make eyeshadows last on my extremely oily lids. So the first step is you're gonna take a cotton round and you're gonna take some micellar water. I always use this one by Garnier, and I'm just gonna put a little bit on my cotton round and I'm just gonna clean my lids. I just make sure they're completely free of any oils. I let them dry a little bit, of course. They are still a little wet from the micellar water. And then I take an eyeshadow primer. And this shouldn't be just any eyeshadow primer. It should be an eyeshadow primer that is like cement on the lids. It should be the kind of eyeshadow primer that if you apply this with a brush and you leave that eyeshadow primer in the brush, like the residue, and it dries down, it's gonna be impossible to remove. I never apply this with a brush because the brushes I use this with are just lost forever. So I have here the Milani Stay Put eyeshadow primer. There are so many eyeshadow primers on the market meant for more like the dry lids. They are just a little bit more creamy, a little bit more emollient. This one is like super drying, and that is what I'm looking for. Like, my lids are oily. I'm not making any jokes here. So I'm just gonna take quite a bit of this. I'm gonna make sure, well, that's quite a lot. This might be a little bit too much, but just gonna take a little bit for both lids. And I'm gonna make sure that my lids are completely covered. And as it sets down, I'm gonna grab a mattifying setting powder. Not just an eyeshadow, it's gotta be a mattifying setting powder. I'm just gonna grab this one that's in front of me by What's a Beauty. This is a Wind Dancer Pressed Setting Powder. This is not the most mattifying setting powder that has ever existed, but it's definitely enough for me for this eye look that I'm gonna do to last all day if I wanted to. So I'm just gonna actually take my finger. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that powder. Like, I wanna stamp it on, so I'm taking it with my finger, and then I'm gonna stamp it, and I'm just gonna stamp it where my eyeshadow creases. So that is really like in this inner fold, that inner crease. Just gonna stamp that on. Alright, so that is the lid prep all done. If I apply just a regular eyeshadow look on this base, it's usually gonna last me about like 14, maybe 16 hours. Like, this is for a long day. I do sometimes do a specific eye look to make it last even longer. Like, if I don't want to take any risks, I could show you that as well if you're interested in it.